Hello, hello. If you are here, please let me know by typing in the comments. Hello, everybody. I'm going to wait a few minutes to let everybody trickle in. I did get a few emails from a few of you ladies saying that you have parent nights and other obligations. So that's fine. I know everybody is not going to be here, but I just want to make sure my tech is okay. So if you can hear and you can see me, let me know in the comments below. All right. And again, I'm gonna wait a few minutes to make sure that everything is working okay. I'm going to check everything on my phone. I got my iPhone here, and I'm gonna be double checking everything to make sure everything is working properly. Okay, I see myself. Yay! Okay, great. So that's working. I just wanted to make sure that that was working fine. All right, so we're going to wait just a few more moments for everybody to trickle in. For those of you, if you are currently watching, please note that you can join me live and see me on video, and I can see you on video by you clicking the big pink button right there below this video. So if you want to talk to me or, be able to speak to me one-on-one, or just so I can see your face and we can like have that face-to-face interaction, you can go ahead and join via live video. Even if you're on your phone, you can still join via live video on your phone as well. Let me double check. Let me refresh this page right here just to make sure everything is showing up okay on the desktop version of everything. Refresh my page. Okay, yes. Okay. I see myself. So everything looks good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. If you are here, let me know in the comments. Um, I'm going to keep track of everybody on my phone here to make sure that I am getting all of the comments coming through. But we are going to get started shortly. Let me just check everything. Okay. I had to give me some good old Kurt Franklin. I love listening to Kurt Franklin gospel music. He's like my favorite gospel producer, artist, whatever. He just has such upbeat gospel music. Hey, who is that? Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So
this
who
was
is
definitely
it?
an accident, but hello.
Hello. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I see Antoinette is here. Awesome.
I'm trying to get on so I can type in some. Do I type in stuff or do I just talk?
Yeah, you have the option for those. I wanted to give it the dual option for people that might not want to be on video, so they can just watch the presentation and interact with me in the comments. Or if you wanted to get on video, you have that option. So either way is fine. And as I'm going through the content, if you don't want to like interrupt, you can always put your questions down there. And then when I'm finished, I'll come back around and answer questions because I'm going to make time for Q&A after the fact.
Yeah, I can't find where the questions are. That's what I'm saying. I mean, am I supposed to be on my phone or on the computer?
Either one is fine. Like if you're on your computer, so you can interact with the questions from your computer as well, or from your phone. You just got to go to the website. So this website is the actual web page. If you see my phone.
I can see it.
So right here, you see the little comments area.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah.
I just have to go back.
Yeah. So I put a little comment down there just so people know that they can talk to me in that. So you have either option. Yay! I'm glad everybody is here. Is it recording? It looks like it is. Okay, good. We got recording. Hello, Tracy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to make sure that my tech was okay so everybody can hear and see me fine, which is great. We are recording, which is awesome. I know that there's some ladies that are not going to be able to be here, which is fine because everybody will get access to the replay. I'm going to send out the replay of this as well as the PDF version of my slide deck, so everybody can have access to the video replay as well as the actual PDF of my presentation. So even if you don't feel like taking notes or you're mobile or something, you're still going to have that to reference. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. All right, so let's get started. Let me make sure I got my presentation pulled up. How's everybody doing?
Fine.
Fine. Y'all had a long day?
I've had
Doing
a very long
okay.
day.
Girl, I've had a long day. I was up until 4 o'clock, woke right back up at 8, honey. But it's okay. The show must go on. All right, so let's go ahead and share my screen. So you guys aren't going to be able to see me anymore. I'm about to show my screen. Okay, so give me a second. Hold on. Done.
Oh, wait.
What happened? Something's wrong?
Hold on.
Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen now. Can you see my screen? You should see where it says Instant Beauty Queen Workshop.
Yes.
Yay! Okay, great. Awesome. So we're going to get right into it. Let me do this full screen. Okay, so everybody see that? It's full
Yes.
screen? Okay, great. Awesome. Well, I want to formally welcome everybody to today's workshop. I'm super excited and glad that you all registered, and I am super excited to share what I know about Instagram with you all. I have been, for those of you who may not really know me very well, I have been in the social media marketing and digital marketing space for coming up on 11, well, not 11, 13 years now. And I was formerly a social media content manager for Elf Cosmetics. I worked on the social media management team, and then I also helped with their beauty squad approvals. And in 2018, I decided to start my own brand. I still have my consulting firm where I help other small businesses, but I started focusing specifically on beauty brands because that's where my true passion and my heart lies. I developed a love for beauty back in 2012 when I moved here to Atlanta, and I just love everything about beauty. And I really wanted to focus on helping those of you who are smaller micro influencers, because I know that can be really, really difficult to start gaining traction and gaining momentum and getting some exposure and actually being able to generate an income from Instagram in that space if that is something that you wanted to do. So I decided to lend my skills and my talents and what I know specifically to the micro influencer niche to be able to help you build businesses that you absolutely love, you can thrive in, and actually generate coins from. So that's a little bit about me. And today we're going to be talking about how to increase your influence, impact, and income on Instagram. And this is a very thorough workshop. This is my second time doing this workshop. I've done it before for my private students, that people that were already customers of mine, but this is the first time I ever opened it up publicly. And the goal of this workshop is to essentially give you the roadmap of how to generate money from your beauty account, whether you are a larger micro influencer or whether you are a smaller micro influencer just starting out. Either way, whatever spectrum that you fall on, there is a way for you to be able to generate income and make a decent living from it. And even those of you who are freelancers or beauty retailers, the same principles apply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the content. There is a lot to get through, so I'm going to go through it as fast as I can, but not too fast to where you guys can't keep up with the pace. And then at the end, I'm going to make time for questions. So if there's something that you have questions about as I go through the content, be sure that you jot them down on your paper, and then we can circle back around and get those together. Okay?
Got it.
Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about is marketing mindset, your account setup and checkup. We're going to talk about branding, Instagram branding, content creation, content and account promotional strategy, engagement and how to get your engagement up and different tactics that you can do for that. And then we're going to also talk about the importance of proper infrastructure and monetization methods. And these two parts, somebody say something?
Sorry, that's my little cousin. 1 second.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I thought you were answering a question. So we're going to talk about the importance of having a proper infrastructure and the monetization methods, because this is really what's important to how you actually make money. Like all of what I'm talking about is like strategy and, you know, content strategies, but unless you actually have a way to actually generate the income, then none of this is going to do any good. So those last two parts are going to be very important as well. So as I'm going through this content, it might be a bit overwhelming to those of you who are really new to the space, but I want you to remember that this is a marathon and not a sprint. When you actually are really investing the time, the resources, the money into really building a brand that's going to be around for the long haul, that is sustainable, it's going to take you the time to actually invest in it and learn the process and be patient with yourself, essentially. So this is not a magic button. You got to commit to long-term strategy and reap the full, so that you can reap the full benefits and rewards. So by the end of this workshop, you're going to have a full-blown plan and have a roadmap to know how you can go from where you are right now to where you ultimately want to be. So it's important to understand that you need to give yourself time to digest this information, kind of process it, and then actually begin to implement it over the course of, you know, however long you're going to give yourself. So grant yourself some grace. Strive for progress, not perfection, and just be open and willing to try new things and pivot where necessary as you implement the process. And then it's also important that you take the time to invest in also continuing to learn the Instagram platform. I can teach you strategy and things all day, but like I said, Instagram is always changing and things are always changing. So you need to take it upon yourself to make sure you stay abreast of what's going on and continuing to invest the time into mastering the actual platform. All right, so the first part we're going to be talking about here is account setup and checkup. So I want to talk about the difference between a business account and a personal account. So the differences between the two is where a personal account is for personal individual use. And the only stats that you have available on a personal account is that you can only see like your likes and your comments numbers. Like you don't really have any stats or data of analytics on a personal account, meaning that it's not formally an Instagram business account. So it's just like a personal account for your personal use, and you don't actually have the business status of being a business Instagram account. Whereas when you do have a business Instagram account, you actually have the ability to do a lot of different things as far as like seeing your stats, your analytics. You have the ability to run ads if you want to. You can also see stats like how many people your posts are reaching, the impressions of your posts, and just so much more. There's a lot of great numbers and data that goes into having a business account. And I absolutely recommend it. If you don't have a business account, you should. Okay, so in order to create an account, you must link your current Instagram account to a business fan page. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube that shows you how to do this. I'm not going to show you right here because it's going to take this website is going to be entirely too long. But essentially, you're going to link your Instagram account to an existing business account, business Facebook page that you have in order to convert it over. So if you need to know how to do that, you can, watch a YouTube video to figure that out. So one of the biggest things I want to make sure that you are not doing, I actually seen some of you ladies that signed up for this workshop, is you have your account on private status. If you have your account on private, please take it off. That is like hindering and blocking all of the coins and all of everything that you're trying to do. That's very important for you to be able to attract people and actually get them to engage with your content. So take that off. If you already have an existing business account, so let's just say you already have a business account that you're using and you want to kind of figure out, okay, How should I curate my content and create my content? Should I keep it more business, beauty, influencer content, or should I incorporate some of my private life information into there as well? Well, if you're trying to figure that out, it kind of depends on your brand persona or the type of brand you want to build. Or the type of content that you're already posting. So say, for example, you have already had like account and you have, your family and your friends follow you up there. You post pictures of your kids, your dogs, and things like that. And you already have a following on it. More than likely, the following that follows you aren't necessarily like the type of people you would want to be, that will be interested in beauty stuff, because you're already posting a variety of different things. So if you have a personal account that you're currently using, I would actually recommend that you create another account or just convert that account over into just your beauty account, and then create another account that's for like friends and family and things like that. Because and I'll talk about this a little bit more later, it's really important that your account is very, very niche and specific, focusing on the beauty market, because it's going to be important for Instagram to be able to categorize you and knowing like how they should promote your stuff. And I'll talk about that more a little later. So if you have different brands that you are doing, so say for example, you are a beauty influencer, right? But you also have a retail store or you offer physical products. I would recommend that you create 2 different accounts for that. So for your personal brand that you have, for you as your person, and then you need to create another account for your retail business or for your product line that you have. And the reason why that is because everybody that follows you on your influencer account may not necessarily be interested in your products. So it's more so you making sure that you have a very targeted and potent audience for each of the things that you're doing, and not putting them all into one account, because that kind of dilutes the potency of your engagement, and it actually brings it down if you're not really focused on that. So I want to kind of give you an example of what segmentation looks like and how powerful it can be. So this is Keisha Nayor. A lot of you might know her. She has a net worth of $30 million, and she has a different account for all of her brands. She has 4 different brands that she runs. So she got her personal brand, her as a personal influencer, which is her name, Keisha Nayor, and then she has 3.8 million people on that. And then she also has a hair brand that she runs, specifically which she sells her hair, which is a Nayor Hair, that has 53.7K followers. And then she might have more now, but this is a screenshot that I took a little while ago. Fitness brand. She has a fitness brand where she actually does fitness content. That's segmented off. So it's Nayor Fitness. And then that has its own following. And then she also has a makeup brand where she actually sells makeup. So she has a different account for all of her different brands. And then the way that she's kind of incorporating that, she would, if she wants to, she can do a post to kind of send people over that are interested in a specific brand, like her hair or her fitness. She can incorporate some of that into her content, but not a lot of it, to kind of like segment all of her people out. So hopefully you guys can kind of see the really big picture of importance of segmentation, and you can see that each one of these segments and brands that she has a really good and strong following. But she was really smart with doing that, because now she's able to have several different influencer accounts and work with several different brands, and actually get paid more, because she's specifically focusing on segmenting out her audience and making sure that she has that specific audience following her on each of those different accounts. So that's kind of like the power of segmentation. So let's talk a little bit about marketing mindset. Now, it's important that you kind of change your way that you think of yourself when it comes to being a beauty influencer or being a content creator. So when you have a marketing mindset and you shift over into looking at everything through like a marketer's lens, you start to see challenges and your opportunities as opportunities for growth. So like the algorithm. I know a lot of people, actually a lot of people say, oh, the algorithm, they're really frustrated with the algorithm, or they feel like it's against them, or they just feel like it's trying to keep them down. But in actuality, the algorithm is there and put there for a reason to help you more than to hurt you. It's not there to hurt you, it's there to help you. So look at the different changes and the different things that come along with the different changes that Instagram does as like a opportunity for you to really hone your skill set as a marketer, as an Instagram beauty content creator. Because really and truly, Instagram is a tool. It's a marketing tool for your business. Okay. So look at it that way. Don't compare yourself to others. A lot of the times we are comparing ourselves. I still do that sometimes now, because Instagram is everybody's highlight reel. Your only competition is yourself. Don't be worried about what this other guru is over here is doing and what this other bigger person is over here doing. Keep your eyes focused on what you are doing, and how you are serving your people. And focus and really just like pour yourself into honing your craft of building out a brand that is purposeful, that actually makes an impact and actually is serving your audience, and put your focus more so on serving your audience than thinking about what all these other people are doing around you. And then also remember that you are running a business, whether you are a beauty influencer, a blogger, a beauty freelancer, professional, a beauty researcher. All of these categorized as being an actual business. If your intent is to actually monetize it, you are running a business. So you look at Instagram as a marketing tool, as a marketing medium to get exposure to your brand, which will then allow people to go to the properties that you have, which I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later, to be able to pay you money for what you're doing. So creating content on Instagram is part of your business strategy. It's part of your business strategy to get exposure to your brand and what you offer and what you bring to the marketplace. All right. So there's 4 overall encompassing goals for Instagram. So there's 4 goals for Instagram when you are specifically using it for business. The first goal is to increase your reach, which is essentially growing your following. Is to increase your engagement, which is to get your ideal followers or your ideal audience to connect with you and engage with your content, so they can help you in the process of bringing more brand awareness to what you're doing, to whether it's just your brand personally as an influencer, or to the products and services that you're offering, or just to your account, overall in your content. The third thing is to increase conversions as a business. So if you're running a business, the purpose of it is to increase. One of the third purposes of it is to increase conversions and actually convert sales, meaning actually getting your followers and turning them into actual customers that actually pay you for something that you're offering. Or even if you are doing sponsorships, the purpose of you being able to get paid sponsorships is they're paying you for your ability to convert your followers into customers of theirs. So all of it's going to be leaning back to some type of monetary value, and even in that sense. Okay. And then the fourth thing is to increase your follower and customer loyalty. So you want to increase your brand awareness, increase your visibility, and giving your customers something that is worthy to come back to, and that is actually worthy for them to continuously to interact with you and keep on coming back to your page to engage with you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Instagram branding and why this is important to your whole thing. Everything starts with Instagram branding. Like all of your content strategies, everything that you do as far as like hashtag, all of that, it starts with the umbrella of your branding. So, and the way that you kind of figure out what your branding is, you need to really like take time. A lot of people skip over this, and I just don't understand why, because it is so very, very, very important to making sure that you are being effective and efficient in what you're doing with your content creation and your growth strategies. So think about what your message is, what your mission, and what your purpose is, and as it pertains to your personal beauty brand. The purpose of your brand should be to help provide solutions to your followers' problems, whether they are struggling with, finding the right foundation or finding the right red lipstick to go with their skin tone. All of these things are problems, and your job as a beauty content creator is to provide a solution to whatever problem that they're having. They're looking to you as their problem solver. So again, your mission should bring about some type of transformation in the lives of your followers that would make their lives easier or better better for coming into contact with you. Your message should be solely also targeted towards a specific group of people. And we're going to talk about more about being really targeted in your niche and stuff here in a little bit, but it should be specifically focused on a specific subgroup of people that you can resonate the most with, or that you can speak the most easily to. So think about your story. What is your story and how it pertains to how you got involved in what it is that you're doing as a beauty influencer, or why you created your products if you're a retailer, or why you began freelancing if you're a freelancer. Why did you get into what it is that you're doing? How does your story relate? How does your story relate to your message and to your mission and to your purpose? What events or obstacles or challenges or situations that you have faced throughout your life, how have they brought you to where you are currently in this moment? And how have they played an integral part into that? What from your life inspired you to develop a passion for beauty? Like, what was that pivotal transformation? Maybe you used to watch your parents, your mom, do her makeup, and you really loved the way that she did her makeup. So you began to get an interest in that. For me, the reason I began to learn makeup is, I don't know if you guys remember that I shared this a little while ago. My brother passed away. So because I moved down here because I wanted to be closer to my mom, because she stays in South Carolina and my brother was her caretaker. So when I moved down here, I decided that I didn't know that I was going to be opened up into this whole world of beauty, because I'm from a little town in Greenville. Didn't know anything about makeup, beauty here, anything. But when I moved here to Atlanta, which is like a hot area, I was opened up to all of that, and I just fell in love with it. So that was the trigger for me, my brother passing away and me wanting to move here to be closer to my mom, that kind of introduced me to makeup. And then also too, my sister, me and my sister, we moved here together. We were roommates, and she was really into makeup. I really wasn't. And she showed me how to do makeup the way that she did her makeup, which I ended up really didn't like. I didn't like it. But I began to be introduced makeup from her as well, and which led me to other modalities, which is like YouTube, to really learn like different skill sets like highlighting and contouring and all of that. So that's a little bit of my story and how I got involved in makeup. So you think about that for yourself. How did you get involved in what you're doing, and what events helped you to deepen your affinity for what you do? So I would really, really urge you ladies to write out your story, write it out, and really kind of get familiar with the process, the things that you've gone through, and how it really has played an integral part in it. And you might not know or feel like, is that my computer? It's not. So I'm like, oh, my computer's about to die. One of the things that really allows people to connect with you is your story. And your story is essentially like what sells people on why they should follow you. Maybe they do follow you, because they love your pictures, or they think that you're cute, or whatever that is. They think you do your makeup really well, but they're just following you. That's just like a surface follow. But then what really gets them to be engaged with you and really support you and really, really rally around your stuff, like for real, ride or die, is your story. And that's what's really going to drive the growth of your brand and the growth of your engagement and things like that. So think about, who do you serve? What demographic or market are you going to be serving? So maybe you're a single mother. Can you really speak to the pains and the different challenges that single moms go through when it comes to makeup, or doing their hair, or doing their nails, or whatever that is, or skincare? Maybe you're talking to career moms. You're a career mom, and maybe you can really relate to them. Or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you can relate to other stay-at-home moms, or maybe you are focusing on helping other female entrepreneurs because you yourself as a beauty influencer, you are a female entrepreneur. So maybe you want to specifically help them with their makeup application so they can look good for business meetings and things like that. So what is your niche? Do you like glam makeup, natural glam, long natural hair? And I say all of this all the time because beauty is a big, big, big market, but there's so many different things under the umbrella of beauty. We have, you know, makeup, we have skincare, we have some parts of health and fitness that can still be considered beauty. Nails, all of that is beauty, but then you want to really niche it down. Okay, if you are a hair blogger, or you're a natural hair blogger, or you're going to specialize in like transitioning people that are just did a big chop and they, you know, they start growing their TWA and they're trying to figure out like, okay, well, how can I do different hairstyles that's going to make me feel confident because this is new to me? Like, is that something that you're going to really specifically hone on? And I don't want you to feel like because you're going to be so specific that you're going to, you know, cancel everybody else out. You're still going to attract people outside of what you specifically specialize in as far as your niche. But when you really kind of like get specific on who you serve, that's going to make your content so much more powerful, and you're going to resonate with people a lot more, and they're going to want to really support you and follow you because of that specialty. So that's something to think about. So do you want to, you know, focus on cruelty-free makeup or organic makeup, long natural hair, or transitioning natural hair? Like, what part or what specific niche do you really specialize in? What really helps you? Also, think about the problem that you're solving. How can you actually help people and make their lives easier? So maybe you're sharing 10-minute hairstyles to help career moms who are transitioning into natural hair. They just did a big chop, their hair's growing back, they got a TWA, but they're like, oh my God, I want to make sure that I'm looking presentable when I'm going to work. So let's do these 10-minute hairstyles. And maybe you are specializing in doing like specific clips to teach them how to do their hairstyles when they get ready for work. Or maybe you are helping female entrepreneurs create quick and classic Instagram looks. Because, you know, they want to look really nice for their meetings, their business meetings and things. So you're going to show them how to do various different types of natural glam look using neutral, warm eyeshadows, and, you know, makeup that's not too heavy but still presentable. Like, what is your specific thing that you're solving for your audience? So that's some things to consider as well. Another thing that goes into your Instagram brand is knowing the specific aspects of your brand. It's important to know that knowing these specific aspects that I'm breaking down for you here, this is really what's going to help you stand out in a saturated market. A lot of people, I get so many different DMs on a daily basis when they're just saying, yes, I know I want to, you know, be a beauty influencer and really be able to make a living at this, but there's just so many people in this niche, and I don't know how to get my voice heard, and I'm not really getting seen. Nobody's engaging with my stuff. Well, a lot of that comes down to knowing where your lane is and knowing what your brand is, your niche,
for you.
problems that you're solving.
Go in.
So this is going to really help you stand out.
All right.
And this is also going to be your guiding force. Oh, hold on, you ladies. What I'm going to do real quick, I hear there's a little bit of background noise. And there's an ability to mute yourself out, but I don't think that everybody might not know that. So give me a quick second to see if I can mute. Hold on. Can I mute? Okay, I'm going to mute everybody, but please know that you can still interact with me in the comments. And at the end, I'm going to take everybody else off mute so that we can verbally get questions answered. Okay, but I just want to try to make sure the recording of this is as clear and as crisp as possible. So give me just a second. Is this muted? Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's get back into it. Okay. All right. So again, knowing your brand and your message and your niche is going to be the guiding force for the type of content that you are actually going to create. Okay, so, and it's also going to establish for you how people are actually going to perceive you in the beauty influencer space. So it's going to be essentially what you're known for. So think about, what do you want to be known for? When somebody thinks about that specific thing, like maybe, you know, doing hairstyles or transitioning hair, for example, again, that's, they're going to think about you. That's what you're known for. So think about what you want to be known for and what you want to be the go-to resource for. And when you really figure this out, you are going to be so much more passionate about creating your content. I know for me, that was something that I needed to figure out. Like I said, my story, I've been in this space for a long time. I've been a social media marketing consultant for various different businesses for 13 years. I've consulted real estate agents and brokers. I've worked with investors, real estate investors, and small businesses, startups, 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs in different industries. But after a while, I was like, okay, I know I love, marketing and business. I love teaching marketing, business, and promotion and advertising. But I am just like so burnt out on, just hopping around from one entrepreneur to the next, that's on these various different professions. What is it about? What can I find something that really rejuvenates me, makes me happy to continue to do consulting? And that's when it clicked for me in 2012 or 2018, January of this year. It clicked for me. It's like, I love beauty. Like, there's so many different people in this space that need help, beauty entrepreneurs. And I was like, that's what I can do. I can niche down and still be able to do what I love, because my first love is business. I've always been in business. I come from a background of entrepreneurs. All of my siblings, my family, my mom and dad, they were all entrepreneurs. Now I know business, but then when I developed that love for beauty back in 2012, I don't even know why it didn't even click to me back then, but it took a while. You got to go through what you got to go through to get to where you need to be. But this year, it clicked for me. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to specifically help the beauty space. So that's when I began to get really, really energized and rejuvenated about what I was doing. It was it didn't seem like a chore for me anymore. Like, it was very fulfilling. And the same is going to be true for you. Like, maybe you really love DIY skincare or DIY different type of things like that. Or maybe you really love glam makeup. Like, whatever it is that you love about beauty, really get clear on that, because it's going to make the process of creating your content so much more enjoyable and so much more easier. And it's going to help you to generate more income in the long term. When you are actually building a specific niche audience, not only can you generate income from it through what you offer, but when you actually start to get to the point where you're going to be doing sponsorships and partnerships, because you have been very, very laser focused on building, for example, a audience of single mothers who are transitioning to natural hair, like you are specifically targeting those people, you will be able to charge higher rates for your sponsorships and for your partnerships, because you have number one, a very potent target audience, and you have been focused on making sure that they are you create content that gets a ton of engagement. And because you've been very, very strategic about that, you're going to be able to charge higher rates for that, right? Because you were specific with the way that you were building your brand out. And then also too, it's going to decrease overwhelm. And you will know what opportunities to say no to when you're really clear on your brand. So when people approach you for doing brand deals and stuff, you're going to be able to quickly identify, okay, this doesn't resonate with my brand. My audience is not going to jive with it. So I'm going to say no to this. This is something I don't need to do. And a lot of you might be thinking right now, just because you're in the earlier stages, you're like, why would I say no to anything? But believe me, guys, I've seen influencers get to where they're just burnt out because they're doing stuff all the time and they're not really doing stuff that feeds their spirit. So it's important so that you know what to say no to. And if you just take on all of these things at once, you're going to get very, very burnt out and overwhelmed very, very quickly. So please understand that you don't have to be all of the things to everybody. You just need to serve who you can serve the best. Okay, so let's talk about some nitty-gritty stuff. and really making sure that you get your make sure you get your bio together. Very long day. Okay, I was just looking to make sure that the comments were still coming through. All right, so getting clear on your branding. All of this work as far as getting clear on your branding is also going to help you improve your bio. It's going to be very, very effective for helping you improve your bio, and it's going to be able to help you to identify the goals of your account and what steps you want people to take when they come into contact with your profile, or when they come into contact with your brand, or what you do as your service or as your products. So this is going to allow you to articulate clearly why somebody should follow you on Instagram. So think about what it is that you're offering, what your brand offers, how you're going to be able to help them, who is your audience, and what do they want, and how can you serve them. It's going to play all into that when you're actually building out your brand bio, your Instagram bio. So let's talk about some of the key things that you need to keep in mind as you are crafting out your bio. And I'm going to show you an example when I'm done real quick of mine. Just a lot of you guys see my bio, but I just want to kind of show you this in action. So how to create a fully customized bio with 5 key elements that is actually going to be a profitable bio. So it's important to keep your bio follower, customer, and client focused. You need to make sure that your bio is telling people how you can help them, how you can serve them, how your content and your brand can help them to make their life easier or better. So number one, you want to make sure that you actually have a good image of yourself in your profile that is clear and as professional as you can get it. If you have more of a like product-based brand, if you want to segment it out and have a product-based brand, make sure you have a good picture of your logo or a good picture of your product to kind of represent what it is that you're doing. So you want your image to be very clear and look as professional and as clear as possible. You also, the title of, which is the bolded part of your Instagram profile at the top, you want to make sure that you tell people what it is that you do and how you can help them in your title. If you currently have a name there, I would actually recommend that you remove that if you don't already have your name in your handle. And I'm going to show you guys this in a little bit. The body of your bio, this is where you can tell people key things that they can learn from you by following you. So tell them, you know, I help, for example, like I help transitioning career moms quickly style their hair so that they can, you know, achieve a sleek and professional look, or whatever it is. Something that's going to be specifically talking to your specific demographic and how you can help them. Another thing that you would want to do is include, you know, emojis, some cute little emojis in your bio that kind of shows your personality and things like that. And then your website needs to be in your bio. You need to have a branded website. I'm going to be talking about that a little more later on. But you need to have a link to your website. I see so many times where people have YouTube links or links to their YouTube channel, and I don't understand. Number one, you don't own YouTube. You don't own Instagram. You don't own YouTube either way, anyway. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But you need to have the link in your website leading to an actual property that you own, which is like a blog website or a website, your storefront, if you're a retailer, whatever it is, a place where they can book something with you if you're a service provider. And then you also need to include a call to action to tell them what you want them to do. So let me show you guys this by using my profile as an example. Oh, and also too, I'm going to use one of my students as an example too. I don't know if she's up here, Triana, but I hope she has her profile right, because you are my personal client, Triana. And if you ain't got your profile right, I'm going to message you and be like, what you doing? Hold on. Okay, so this is my Instagram, and let me see if I can find Triana's as well. So as you can see, this is my Instagram, right? You see my handle, And then you see that my title, this right here, my title, it doesn't say my name again, but it says what I am, what I do. I'm a beauty content income coach. So that's what I do is when people go to my website, when they go to my Instagram, they see immediately I'm a beauty content income coach. They know that, okay, well, she teaches, she's a coach and she teaches how you make money from beauty content. So they know that, and it just their first little area. And then I talk about how I can help them. I help micro beauty influencers. That's my niche specifically. I specifically help micro beauty influencers and bloggers build a profitable online biz. So that's the benefit of what they can get from me. So this is who I help, my target market, my specific demographic. And this is how the benefit of why they would want to follow me, because I will teach you how to build a profitable online business. And then I add some emojis, and then I do increase your influence, increase your income. So again, that's reinforcing with the benefit of why they should follow me. I want to teach you how to increase your influence, increase your income, right? And then I have a call to action that says get your IG resources, right? And there's a little emoji that points down to my website. This is my website. So when they click that website, they're going to be taken to my actual website. Okay, so that's the breakdown of like how an effective bio that is very, very clear and concise and will sell people on why they should follow you, essentially. Now let me see if I can find Triana. Is her handle, I think it's underscore makeup. There she goes. That's her. So Triana is one of my personal clients. She actually registered for this webinar too. I don't know if she's here, but I want to show you hers as well. There you go. All right. So Triana, you can see this is her name, her brand name, or her handle, sorry. She has her name there, and then she also has that she's a makeup artist. And then she also has that she's a beauty coach. So Triana, she's also a makeup artist, and she also offers like beauty coaching services for people that want to learn how to do makeup. So those are just some of the income streams that she has set up for herself. And I'll talk about that a little later as well. But when people come here, they see directly that what her name is and what she does. She's a makeup artist and she's a beauty coach. And the reason why she has her name there in her title, because she doesn't have it in her handle. So if you have your name in your handle, but if you have your name in your handle already, I would recommend you take out your name in your actual title and put something to the effect of what it is that you do, like how the title. What is your title, right? But whereas for her, she doesn't have her name in her handle, so she put it here, her name, and then she also included that she's a makeup artist, and then in the actual content she says I'm a beauty coach. So then she says helping busy mamas look and feel good with simple beauty tips and 15-minute makeup looks. It's perfect, right? So her audience, who she serves, is busy moms, and the benefit of why they should follow her is because she provides simple beauty tips and 15 makeup looks. So that's why somebody should follow her, right? And then she has her call to action. Join my 5-day eyebrow challenge. So she's running a challenge right now. She's doing the eyebrow challenge to teach people how to do their eyebrows. And that's her call to action. Her call to action is she want people to sign up for her challenge. So when they go and sign up for her challenge, I haven't checked this out yet. Let me see what it leads me to. It leads to, I think her page to sign up for a challenge, which is great. Awesome. So that's kind of like a working example of what your bio should look like. So let's go back to the presentation here. Let's see, present. All right. So just to kind of give you some niche keywords that stands out Like I said, this is where you knowing your branding, your ideal audience comes into place when you are creating your bio that speaks to them and actually is going to draw them in. So know your audience and your niche specialty. So instead of saying beauty influencer, say I'm a natural glam beauty influencer. People that are interested in natural glam, you're going to know that you're speaking directly to them. They're going to want to follow you. Instead of MUA, say I'm a wedding makeup artist. If you specifically take on wedding clients and that's who your clientele base you want to attract, say that I'm a wedding makeup artist. Or instead of saying just massage therapist, say I'm a back massage therapist. You specialize in back massages. Or instead of esthetician, say that you're a skin tightening specialist or a dark spot removal specialist. Like you specialize in hyperpigmentation, clearing up hyperpigmentation as an esthetician. That is what you should say in your bio so people know that's your specific specialty. All right, content creation. We're going to be talking about some content creation strategies and tips now. So when you're creating the content, it's important to think of yourself as a problem solver. Okay. Again, the purpose of why you're building your brand, the purpose of your content is to solve a problem. So you're providing solutions to your audience problems, and you're sharing your unique knowledge, insights, and perspective on how to solve their problems. And in order to really create content that is consistent and be consistent with your scheduling and your posting strategy, you need to always be coming up with new beauty content ideas and topics, and keep a running list of it inside of a Word document or inside of a notepad. Keep a running list of the content ideas. And here's some ways that you can come up with content ideas. So use your followers' FAQs as content inspiration. I'm sure a lot of the times you get questions about, oh, how did you get your makeup to look so flawless? Or how do you get your foundation to look so flawless? How do you get your skin to be so clear? Things like that. Use the questions that they ask you as content inspiration. Even if you're a freelancer, I'm sure if you're doing people makeup, they're like, what product is that? And how do you do that? They're asking you questions as you're doing makeup. So keep tab of those questions that they're asking you, and you can use that as content inspiration, as well as to incite people to actually book you for your services. You can create content around that as well. Look at trending topics outside of beauty for content inspiration, so that you can attract fresh followers that's outside of the that wouldn't normally be able to see you as a beauty content creator. You can bring them back into what you're doing to attract fresh followers and new engagement. So one example that I used to give all the time is about the Super Bowl. Yes, Super Bowl is generally a men's sport. Men love it, but there's a lot of big-faced beauties out there that love the Super Bowl, and they love, football. So if you say, for example, the teams that are going to be going to the Super Bowl, you can create a look that is inspired by the team colors and use related hashtags to capitalize off of that trending topic and start attracting people that is outside of the beauty space that wouldn't normally see what it is that you offer, and bring them back involved with what you're doing on Instagram. So that's just an example. Stay on top of the latest beauty news and events content for content inspiration. So I recently, not recently, a few months ago, I did a beauty content challenge with my tribe where I was walking them through the process of using the trending topic of the BET Awards to get exposure. So we went through the process, we figured out what hashtags we needed to use, and we created looks that was inspired by what we would wear. Like, say if we were going to the BET Awards, we posted looks that say, hey, the BET Awards tonight, I'm so excited about it. This is a look that I would wear if I were going to that event. And you use the appropriate hashtags. And right now, to this day, that is one I use that I participated in it as well. That's one of the most highly engaged posts that I have. And I attracted a lot of new followers from doing that, as well as a lot of the ladies in my tribe who participated in it. They were able to get ranked on the top page for those hashtags and be able to bring people back into their content. So look at beauty expos, beauty cons, award shows, and things that are coming up, and keep tabs on that. And you can always incorporate that into your beauty content. Product reviews, focus on sharing your unique perspective of a product that you're using. a lot of people, when they're doing product reviews, they'll get really wrapped up in like the different things that the product says it's supposed to do, and this is what it did, and this is, and they get like very, very mundane or whatever, and it's not really interesting. So when you're doing a product review, remember to focus on talking about how the product worked for you and how it made your life easier, what you specifically thought about it. Because remember, you are a solution provider to your followers, so you need to help them understand how that product or service has helped you and made your life easier, and how it could potentially help them as well, based on your personal experience with this. So give your unique and authentic opinion when you're doing product reviews. So here's a little bit about organization of your content ideas, and talking about some of the best content creation strategies that you can use. So focus on a content series, and I really harp on this. Content series, ladies, are so freaking amazing for having a continuous stream of consistent content coming out on a very, very regular basis. So this allows you to stretch out your content over a longer period of time, and you can provide more than one solution to one singular problem when you do content series. And it also allows you to go more in depth on one particular beauty topic. So here's an example. When you're creating, so let's just say the topic was eyeshadow looks, right? So you were going to be, doing content about eyeshadow looks, and then the categories and subtopics, you can break it down to an actual category and then into subtopics. So some example categories that you would use. Okay, well, there's a lot of different things that goes into eyeshadow looks. There's eyeshadow different palettes, and doing reviews and giving tips about choosing the best palettes. There's eyeshadow application basics. That's an actual category. There's also glam and eyeshadow looks and techniques. That's a category that you can create content under. And then once you actually have these categories, you can break it down even further. So under each of these categories, you can have subtopics. So for example, under the category of eyeshadow palettes, you can cover the following subtopics, which is, which palettes have the best color payoff and pigments, or how to work with low-end palettes versus high-end palettes, and still be able to create colorful eyeshadow looks on a budget. So maybe you can talk about drugstore palettes and do looks with that, and do high-end ones, or how to work with matte eyeshadows versus shimmer eyeshadows. So hopefully this has giving you ideas of how to really break everything down. So you're going to have content coming out, segment content coming out all the time, and you don't have to feel stuck about, okay, what kind of content am I going to create? If you really, really break it down to like the most finite things you can, you're going to have a ton of beauty content to create and put out there. Also, it's important to always be planning ahead. Plan ahead and think about special social events or holidays that are coming up, and pre-create content or pre-film content so that you're ready to go ahead and capitalize on these events and things that are coming up. You can be the first to capitalize on social media buzz and hashtags. And I would actually really encourage you ladies to plan out your content at least 2 months in advance and plan ahead so that you can be one of the first people to capitalize on the juice and the buzz that the hashtags are going to be getting for those actual events and things that are coming up. And I like to say this because, like I said, I work with Elf Cosmetics, and their content strategy is beast. A lot of the times their content strategy was already planned out anywhere between 2 to 6 months in advance, depending on the time of year or what they were doing. So you, like I said, you are a business, right? Your intent to be able to generate income, you are a business. So you need to make sure that you are foreshadowing and planning ahead and making sure that you are ahead of the game, so you already have your content ready to go. So if you an actual strategy that you can use to be able to create content and get ahead of the game is called batch content batching. Now, this is a strategy that I use as well, and it is a lifesaver. And I really recommend that you use it as well. So content batching is when you break content creation down into smaller chunks. so that you are being more effective and more efficient with your time when you're creating your content. So let's just say, for example, you are going to create a content series on eyeshadow looks or whatever, and you know that you're going to be doing 3 different eyeshadow looks using warm or neutral tones or whatever for the fall or whatever's coming up. So on one day, you can record all your videos if you're going to be doing videos, or you can take all of your pictures, or you can do all 3 makeup looks in one day and take your pictures. And that's one day. So Monday, you do all of your makeup looks and take all your pictures, and you have them already ready. And the next day you can decide, okay, well, now that I have all my pictures, today I'm going to focus on making sure I have captions for each of these looks. So I'm going to take today and I'm going to take a document and I'm going to write out my captions for all of these looks, and making sure that I include what's necessary to list out all of these products and everything. So I have that already there and ready to go. And then the next day you can say, all right, well, now I have my pictures, my videos or whatever, or and I have my captions. Now I'm going to spend some time to really do some research. I'm going to research hashtags to make sure that I have a good mix of hashtags going that are varied up and that can go along with each of these posts. You can do the same thing with editing. If you're a YouTuber, you can film all of your looks on one day, and then you can spend all one day editing, and you can do all of your editing in one day, or kind of like break it up. So content batching really helps you with getting ahead and breaking everything down so it's not so overwhelming. Okay. All right. So let's talk about posting strategies and scheduling. Okay. So there's 3 different types of posting strategies and scheduling that you need to be aware of. First is daily posting. You don't have to post every day. Please know that you don't have to post every day, but you need to pick days that you're going to be posting. Maybe you want to post on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, or Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Pick those days that you are going to be posting and stick to them, and be consistently sticking to them and posting with them every single week and every day without fail, whatever day that you choose without fail. Instagram, if you're not aware, no longer shows their Instagram posts in chronological order. So it's important that when you actually are publishing or scheduling out when you're going to publish your post on whatever day you're going to be posting, that you are planning out your posting time that is most optimal for when you're going to be able to get the most engagement. So that means that it means that you need to be posting your content at a time and when your followers are going to be most likely to engage. And because the algorithm is so staggered, that means that even if you post at maybe you post at 8 o'clock in the morning, your actual image may not show up until 5 o'clock in the afternoon for them. So it's important for you to kind of figure out what is your sweet spot for when you should post that's going to give you the most engagement. So for example, if you know that your niche, based on your niche and your branding, if you know that your niche is natural hair women that are transitioning into natural hair, maybe they're the ages between 30 and 40, then it's going to be better for you to post your content between the hours of 6 and 9 p.m. because that's going to be where you're going to be. That's usually when it's like, they put their kids down, they had their dinner, and now they're probably hanging around watching TV, scrolling on Instagram, and they're actually going to be able to see your stuff and actually be able to engage with it, meaning commenting or sharing and actually taking action on your content. A lot of the times when people are at work, they may be scrolling through Instagram, but they might not necessarily have the time to engage. So if your demographic is that, you may want to post between those hours. On the other side of the spectrum, if your audience is like young ladies or that are in college, you may, between the ages of 18 and 25, you may want to post later at night because, they're night owls and they're up and they're going to be, they're just up, scrolling through Instagram, and that may be the time that they're more likely to engage with your stuff. So the way that you kind of can figure that out is looking at your analytics. If you have a business account, like I said, you should have a business account. If you look at your analytics, it's going to show you what times you get the most engagement. And there's also other tools that allow you to do that as well. I'm going to show you that here in a little bit, but there's other tools that kind of help you see, okay, when you're getting the most engagement and when the most optimal time for you to post. Also, you can use tools like Planoly to schedule out your posts. I know Antoinette, she uses this, and you can use that to upload your content and actually schedule it out to be posted automatically to Instagram. So, once you create your content and do the content batching and you have everything already laid out, then you can go to Planoly and upload everything, and you can pre-schedule it. Use the tool to pre-schedule so it will post to your account automatically without you necessarily having to be there to manually post it. So that is another option to make sure that you're kind of like staying consistent, so you don't always have to manually be the one posting. You can use this tool to help you with that. Weekly posting schedule. You can still steadily grow your account if you're just posting a few times a week, like I said before. But the content that you post needs to be exceptional and provide substantive value to your followers. And you need to be actively involved with engaging with your followers so that you can cultivate your tribe, your culture, the culture of your tribe. So, like I said, I suggest that you pick 3 days per week to post and commit to posting on those days. So, for example, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I also recommend that you map out exact times in which you want to post based on your analytics or based on your demographic in the chosen days that you chose. So I gave a quick example here. On Sundays, you can post at 10. On Tuesdays, you post at 9. On Thursdays, you post at 8. That could be an example of what you do. And I realized, like I said, that depending on how busy your life is, you might be confused, or you might not necessarily have the time to do all that, because I understand you guys are mothers, you are in school, you work full-time jobs, you have lives. So really leverage these tools, Planoly and scheduling tools, to really help you be consistent so that you're not always having to be manually be involved with the process. Seasonal posting. Now, this is important when seasons come around. The holidays are coming up, ladies. So right now, you should have content mapped out and ready and actually in the process of being created to capitalize on the seasonal buzz that's going to be going on. So as with the content batching method, you must plan ahead when it comes to creating seasonal beauty content so that it was going to be aligned with the current beauty trends for that particular season or that particular holiday that's coming up. So, for example, one of the biggest seasonal trends is Christmas and creating Christmas makeup looks for like holiday parties and things like that. So to stay on top of this trend, it will be best for you to start creating your content and batching out your content in the middle of November. In the middle of November is one of the best times to go ahead and start creating holiday looks so that you can start being ready to post it by the end of November, because it's coming along and people are starting to think about, okay, there's different holidays coming up. They're starting to get into that holiday spirit, and they can see your content as something that's going to be inspiring for them for different events and things that they're going to be going to. Same thing would apply for like New Year trends and things like that. You want to have your content ready by mid-December so that you can go ahead and get on it by towards the end of December and go ahead and have your content out that's going to be able to capitalize on that buzz. Like I said before, big cosmetic brands are on it when it comes to creating their content. They plan it out anywhere between 60 days to 6 months in advance. I would say for you, 2 months in advance is sufficient. So just making sure that you're ahead of the curve. So I just want to give you guys a bit of Instagram tips for like Instagram Live and IGTV. Especially IGTV. This is a new feature, and I'm still kind of experimenting with IGTV myself. But here's some tips as it pertains to these two platforms within Instagram. So Instagram Live is great for increasing your engagement. A lot of people don't relate or think about Instagram Lives as like an engagement increasing tactic, but it is. And it's really effective for building a more responsive following because they get to see you on video. They get to talk to you on video. They're getting to build that know, like, and trust factor, and they're getting to see your mannerisms and your and how you're interacting with them. And it also boosts you in the algorithm when you go live. especially when you're going live pretty frequently. It boosts you in the algorithm, and it actually increases traffic to your stories. I don't know if you ever notice, if you go to the Instagram app and you actually go to like where it first just shows up your default timeline, you'll see at the top where there's like recent people that have like their stories across the top with the little circles. Now, this hasn't been like released yet, but I have my theory here. My theory is that if you're consistent with your story posting and you're also consistent with going live as well, you are going to increase your chances of showing up at the very front of that little thread across the top. Like right now, I'm looking at my app right now and I see the people that are going live. They're the first people that showed up, or people that have done a recent live. They're the first people that show up. So if you want to kind of like increase your engagement and get people more involved with coming into your profile, incorporate going live into your engagement and into your content strategy, because it's going to allow you to be closer to the front of that little strip across the top, so people can see you and they can click on your stories and go back to your profile and engage with you. Okay. IGTV. This is a new feature, like I said, and it's for varying. It's good for varying up your content style. I see IGTV as the opportunity to be able to try out different types of content. Are you guys still there? Let me make sure everybody's still here. Hold on. Okay, cool. I'm making sure everybody's still here. I'm checking on my phone. Okay. So I see it as an opportunity to try out very different types of content. So try posting content there that isn't on your main feed. IGTV is its own app by itself. You can download it to your phone as its own separate app, and then you also have it incorporated into the actual Instagram app. So I would really encourage you to use IGTV as a way to like experiment with different types of content. There's still a lot of developing things as it pertains to Instagram. Here's what I think Instagram is good for. The Instagram TV is good for. Posting behind the scenes of you like doing your actual content creation, or posting like vlog type content. Maybe you want to do story times there. That could be some type of content that you incorporate there. Anything that's just not like part of your main feed or a part of your main content is going to allow your users and your followers to see a different side of you. Is going to be, I think, a good option for IGTV. And then also too, if you are a regular live streamer or you become a regular live streamer, that's going to also be a good place for you to put the replays of your live streams on the IGTV. So that's going to be another option. So just in case people come across you later on, they can see replays of some tutorials. Maybe you did a live tutorial where you were live streaming a makeup look. You can put a snippet of it there. Just anything that's kind of like different and outside the box from what you usually do. So those are some different content ideas for that. All right, ladies. So here is what probably most of you guys are here for. Hashtag strategies. So we're going to get into hashtag strategies. Let me tell you that this is very in-depth, very, very detailed. Please understand that you're going to have access to this replay, and also you're going to have access to the slide deck that I'm going to give to you as well. So I'm going to go through this as I'm going to try and speed up a little bit because we are entering the second hour and I don't want to keep you guys here too long. So, but I am going to go through this. So, and if you have questions as I'm going through it, write them down so we can get to them after the fact. So hashtag strategy. Here's some do's and some don'ts, okay? Don't use spammy hashtags like for like or follow for follow. That's going to mark your account and your post as potential spam. And it's going to attract bot followers and ghost followers, or followers that just aren't in your niche. And you want to always make sure that you are attracting people that are in your niche and that are actually going to benefit from what it is that you do, and it's going to actually engage with you. Bot followers are really big on using those hashtags as well. And you don't want bot followers. You don't want ghost followers because it decreases your engagement. Don't use the same hashtags on every single post. Don't use the same hashtags on every single post. Again, don't use the same hashtags on every single post. Try to change them up and create a running list of hashtags that you can pull from consistently so that you can mix it up and have a different varying cluster of hashtags that you're using on your post. I would suggest that you try to keep them as different as possible on every single post. You can reuse some of the same hashtags, but like most of your hashtags should be different every time you post. And then I would say maybe a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, you can come back around to use an exact same cluster of hashtags, but keep them going and keep them rotated. Because again, because of this new algorithm update, Instagram now sees people that use the same hashtags over and over again as potential spam, and they may penalize you for that. Okay. Don't use hashtags that are too broad or too general. Hashtags like MUA, beauty, hairstylist, those are way, way too big, and they are not going to help you get found and get visibility and increase your exposure. There's so many different posts on those hashtags that as soon as you hit post, you're going to be at the bottom, way at the bottom, almost immediately. So the purpose of using hashtags is to be able to get as much exposure as you can without getting buried with all of the posts that are in the hashtag. So here's a quick side note as well. If you're getting a lot of people that follow you that are bots, or people that follow you and then unfollow you, most of the time it has to do with the hashtags that you're using. Your hashtags are too big. A lot of people that run like those bots accounts, they aim for big hashtags that have cast a big umbrella. And a lot of those accounts are going to be bot accounts, like those bundle pages and things like that. They go for the bigger hashtags. So if you can niche down your hashtags and get very, very specific with your hashtags, those are going to be help eliminate or decrease some of the bot ghost followers that you're getting. It's also important to avoid using shadow ban hashtags. Your account may get flagged if you use shadow banned hashtags. For example, beauty blogger is a shadow ban hashtag. That means that shadow ban, if you don't know what it means that Instagram has marked a specific hashtag as a spammy hashtag. And the reason they've done that is because maybe enough people have flagged that hashtag enough to get it taken down. So maybe a lot of people were posting inappropriate content, like maybe porn or whatever, in that hashtag, and people flagged those posts in the hashtag, and they've done it so much so that now Instagram has shadow banned that hashtag. So if you use shadow ban hashtags, it can affect your engagement, it can affect your reach, and it can cause your post that you use the shadow ban hashtag on to not show up for any of the hashtags that you use in the cluster. Even if you included hashtags that weren't shadow banned, because you just included that one, it may cause you not to show up for the rest of them. One of the tools and resources that you can use to check if the hashtags that you've used or if any hashtag is being shadow banned is this website, shadowban.azurewebsites.net. That is a website that you can copy paste the link to maybe one of your recent posts, and when you put it in there, it's going to tell you if there's any hashtags that you use that was shadow banned. And a lot of the times as well, if you usually get pretty good engagement and you notice that your engagement might have dropped out of the blue, you might want to check your hashtags as well, because sometimes a hashtag became shadow banned that wasn't before, which probably caused your followers not to see that particular post. So it's important to kind of always keep a pulse and keep a check on the hashtags that you're using to make sure that they aren't shadow banned. Okay, so here's something that you should do. when it comes to hashtags, make sure that you're spending time doing hashtag research. A good hashtag strategy is really one of the key things to being able to grow your account and sustain a continuous uptrend in your following. So yeah, like what I shared today with doing collaborations and things like that, it's good to get a spike in your followers, but to keep the trend and keep a steady trend of you continuing to get an uptick in followers, having a good hashtag strategy is key. So it's going to ensure that you doing the research is going to ensure that you're using the best hashtag strategies for your niche to give yourself the best chance possible to get exposure. Also, make sure that you're using specific hashtags to your niche. So instead of just using beauty blogger, use natural hair beauty blogger, right? That's really, really specific to what you do. You also have a better chance to actually show up on the top explore page for those niche hashtags if you use those smaller hashtags, because they have less competition and they have lesser posts in them. So let's talk about how to actually develop your hashtag strategy. So you know what to do, what not to do. Now let's walk you through the actual step-by-step process of how to develop your hashtag strategy. All right, so if you are just starting a new account, okay, if you just are starting a new account or you have a smaller account, use hashtags that have been used less than 5,000 times, because a lot of the times when you're just getting started, you have a smaller account, you have a smaller following, your engagement is not as strong. You gotta use smaller hashtags to kind of build up that exposure. So use hashtags that have 5,000 posts in them or less for a newer, smaller account. Once if you have like a couple thousand followers, so I would just say, like, if you have like 1,000 or less followers, I would say start using hashtags that have 5,000 or less. If you have a couple thousand followers, use hashtags that range from anywhere between 10,000 to 100,000. Okay, so I would say anywhere between like 2,000 to 3,000 followers. Start using hashtags and find hashtags that have 10,000 to 100,000. If you have a larger account, so let's just say you have maybe 5,000 followers or more, 3,000 followers or more, you can start using hashtags that have thousands of entries, but it also is dependent on your engagement as well. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. So when you're posting your pictures, use hashtags as far as your strategy. When you're posting your pictures, you want to use hashtags that has varying different amounts of posts within them to kind of figure out where you stand. So let's just say you use 2 or 3 hashtags that have 5,000 posts in them, and then you use 2 or 3 hashtags that have 10 to 100,000 posts in them. Then you use 2 or 3 hashtags that have 100,000 or more posts in them. Use varying amounts and cluster them together, and this is going to help you gauge the amount of strength that your profile has. And this is important for you to really do, because you want to see like where your profile stands. So when you're trying to figure out what your hashtag strategy should be, or how many posts you should aim for as far as like the post strength, that's what you should start doing. Now, sometimes you're going to find that even though you see a hashtag that has tons of entries, maybe they have like 300,000 entries or more, sometimes you're going to find that it may not be as competitive for showing up for top posts. The hashtag emulate underdogs, that has about 254 plus posts in it. And I actually did a case study on this recently, a little while ago. When I checked, when I had 5,800 followers, which wasn't too long ago, my account is relatively smaller, based when you compare it to other big influencer accounts. But even though it's a smaller account, because I have good engagement and I'm actually cultivating comments and getting good engagement on my posts, I was able to show up for hashtags that had 300,000 to 400,000 plus hashtag posts in them, because simply off the strength of my engagement. This is why I always tell you, ladies, it is so, so important that you get your engagement numbers up. Yes, it's important to have followers, but if you have a really strong engagement from that smaller following that you have, you are going to be able to still compete with other bigger accounts and be able to rank in those categories that have, 300 up to 600,000 posts. Even recently, I have about 7,700 followers right now, and which is relatively, again, smaller, but I can still show up for posts that have for hashtags that have 600,000 or more posts in them, because of my engagement rate. So this, ladies, is really kind of showing you the importance of producing high quality content that is actually going to be relative to the niche that you're serving. Because if you're producing high quality content that is serving the niche that you have established for yourself, then your engagement is going to be on point, and it's going to help you position yourself to compete with larger accounts, even if you have a smaller following. So hopefully that kind of demonstrates for you the power of that. So once you actually have your hashtags mapped out, and you kind of have those varying different amounts, you have a few that's in the 500,000 or less range, a few that's in the 10,000 to 100,000 range, you have a few that's in the 100,000 or more range. After about 10 to 12 hours, what you want to do is you want to go back to that post, and you want to click through on every single hashtag to see if you showed up in the top post for any of them. Okay, make note, if you showed up, make note of what hashtag you showed up for and how many posts it had in there. All right. Now, you may show up for lesser tags, because lesser posts that have lesser in them, because smaller accounts, it's easier to show up for those that have smaller posts in there. So if you showed up for hashtags that have a smaller amount, then you know that you are going to be able, that you actually, hold on, somebody's knocking at my door. Huh? Okay, sorry, ladies. Okay, so you may show up for lesser tags, but you may not show up for popular tags. So if you have a smaller account, you may show up for lesser tags, but you may not show up for the popular tags. This is good because it's going to show you where you stand and how powerful your account is. So then you're going to start searching for as many hashtags as possible. So let's just say you showed up for a hashtag that has 5,000 posts in there. You're going to say, okay, now I know that my profile is strong enough to show up for hashtags that have around 5,000 posts. So you're going to go and start finding as many hashtags that's relative to your niche that have that amount of posts in them, so that you can actually start creating that running list of hashtags that have that same amount of posts that you can start pulling from. If you didn't show up for any of them at all, then you know that you're going to have to scale back on your hashtag strength. So even if you didn't show up for the ones that have 5,000, that means that your engagement is not strong enough on your account. So you need to kind of scale it back a little bit in order to kind of work your way up. So even if you didn't show up for those 500,000 post hashtags, aim for smaller hashtags that have 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000 tags in them. And that's going to kind of help you to start working on increasing your engagement, so you can still get a little bit of visibility and kind of work your way up. And like I said, it's still possible for you to show up for the bigger ones, but you're going to really have to harp on making sure your quality, your engagement is good, and your content is good. All right. Now, if you showed up for larger hashtags, if you showed up for all of them, or if you showed up for the larger hashtags, then you know that your account is more powerful than you think, and you can go for even more popular tags for even 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, those that have the bigger ones. So you know that you're going to be able to go for those larger ones if you actually showed up for them. Make sure that you keep your tags gapped in the number of range. So as you're developing and you're figuring out your strength of your engagement, and you're figuring out how your account can perform relative to the hashtag post amount, you want to make sure that you continue to mix it up and keep the tags that you're using gapped in the number of actual posts that they have, so that you can continue to keep on improving and strengthening your account. So maybe you started off with, you know, that your cap, maybe you found out, okay, my cap is 50,000. My post ain't going to show up for anything that's more than 50,000. You want to continue to increase those use hashtags that you can incorporate that are bigger, so that as you are growing your engagement, you're going to be able to determine how much you have grown and know when you can start switching over to using bigger hashtags. So this is going to show you, this is going to allow you to figure out the max exposure that you can get without actually allowing you to be drowned out by a particular hashtag. So the purpose again of using hashtags allow you to get as much as visibility as possible without being drowned out by all of the posts. So again, this is important to really figure out where your profile stands and how effective your engagement and your strategy is going to be. Now, if you use tags that are competitive, if you use tags that are as competitive, oh, okay. So I was saying, if you're using hashtags, this is going to show you how to use hashtags that are as competitive as you can get them without being too competitive, so that you can actually stay up on the top post longer and actually get exposure. So again, the purpose of using the hashtag is for you to show up on the top part of the top post for that specific explore page for each hashtag. So it's going to allow you to be as competitive as possible without being too competitive. And then every few weeks, you want to sit down and reassess your hashtag strategy. You want to sit down and figure out, okay, this is what I was doing. Now let me figure out, okay, am I strong enough now to start going for these bigger hashtags? And you want to find other bigger hashtags to start incorporating into your process, so you can keep a pulse on what you are doing as far as your hashtag strategy is concerned. It's also important to start using location hashtags. This is going to be important for those of you who are retailers that actually have retail storefronts, and also beauty freelancers. Okay, so use location hashtags in your actual post, and you want it to be relative to what you're doing. So like I say, if you're an Atlanta makeup artist, use hashtag that says Atlanta MUA, or if you're in a specific county, use DeKalb County MUA, or whatever county that you're in, so that people that are looking for specific services that you might offer can come across your content. And also, location hashtags are not as competitive as like regular hashtags. You also want to make sure you're using a geo hashtag, where when you can put the location, you know, when you're posting, you can tell you like where you are. Use always, as much as you can, use the location geo tagging inside of your post, because that is going to also allow people who are searching through the map on Instagram to find you and come across your content, because people like to see what other people in their local area is doing. Especially like if you're at a specific like event, or if you're at a specific like maybe popular restaurant or something. If you use the actual location, people that have gone there or are there too can come across your content as well. Hold on. So it's important for you to take all this into account, and also start keeping a running list of hashtags in a spreadsheet. I actually have a spreadsheet that I use, and it allows me to keep track of my hashtags and know where I'm standing and what hashtags that I have to pull from. So it's a good idea to segment your hashtags as you're collecting them, as you're researching them. It's a good idea to start segmenting your hashtags out by number of posts. on each one so that you can easily see your choices and the ones that you have to choose from, and where each one ranks in competition. So you can segment them by like the post amount. So you can do 5 to 10,000. You can have a category for that, or you can segment them by category. So maybe you have natural hair, or just you know, MUA or whatever. You can segment them out by that. I use the numbers category. I segment them by how many posts is in them. That's just easier for me to do, and it's easier for me to see at one glance. And I would actually recommend that you do that as well. Segment all of your hashtags out and categorize them by number of posts in them, so you can easily see what you're working with. When you're doing your research, you can usually gauge how likely when you're actually like doing your research to find hashtags that you could potentially show up for. An easy way to kind of gauge how likely your account is able to actually show up for them is kind of determined by going to the actual hashtag, clicking through and going to the hashtag, and then also clicking through like maybe the first 20 posts that show up for that hashtag, and take note of the amount of engagement that post has. So figure out, okay, how many comments does this post have? How many likes does this post have? And you kind of figure out what the average likes and comments is for that particular hashtag. And if you know, okay, on average, there's 20 likes on the post, and on average they got 5 comments. Well, my post performed pretty well. On average, I get 10 comments, and I usually get 50 likes. So there's a high probability that I'm going to be able to show up for this specific hashtag. So that's just kind of how you can gauge your ability to show up for a hashtag before you actually add it to your list of potential hashtags to use. And I would just look at like the likes that you see and stuff. It's kind of like a point system. You're like, okay, in order to show up for this, I need to be able to get this, this, and this. I need to be able to get, 10 likes and 10 comments. I can do that. So let me add this to my list of what I'm going to be using. Also, research other accounts in your niche and kind of check out their hashtags. This is a good way for you to find hashtags. There are so many different hashtags, and I mean, there's just so many. It's never ending. And my list is pretty big, and I still haven't, I'm still adding to them. So you can start finding hashtags to use by going to other accounts that are very similar to yours and checking out the hashtags that they use. You can go to if you go to the actual hashtag explore page and you look across the top, you're going to see other recommended hashtags. Those hashtags that are there, those are usually going to be hashtags that have the same amount of like posts in them, and you can pretty much essentially count them as hashtags that you would want to use, because they're related to the hashtag that you're looking at already, and they usually have the same amount of posts in them, so you can add them as well. As far as like beauty brand, a lot of you guys, I got a lot of people ask me about using beauty brand hashtags for like maybe F Cosmetics or MAC Cosmetics. It is okay to use those types of hashtags. Or I know some brands have like specific, like F Cosmetics, they have their hashtag Play Beautifully. That is a hashtag that is really known in their tribe, the people that follow them in that makeup brand. It's okay to use those hashtags. It's also okay to use the brand hashtag in your hashtags. But if you want to, if your goal is to like get featured or for them to kind of like see your stuff, I would recommend that you actually tag the brand in your photo. Don't just use the hashtag, or don't just at them. Actually tag that brand in your post, because it's going to increase the likelihood of them seeing your post and actually taking a look at what you're doing. A lot of people would just at the brand in their post, but you got to think that's a big brand. They're getting a lot of people tagging them, and so when the manager looks at their notifications window, it's consistently always updating, so it's going to be pushed down really, really quickly if you at them. So a way to kind of combat that is actually tagging them in the actual picture, the actual photo. of it, as if they're like, you know, how you tag your friends in your photos, tag the brand in the photo. And that's going to allow you to show up in the, under their category where they actually, when they're tagging people that have tagged them, it's going to allow you to show up in that grid, instead of in their notifications. And it's going to allow you to, be there longer and increase your likelihood of them actually seeing your stuff and getting noticed by them. All right, so let's talk about some tips to boost your profile in the algorithm, okay? So I talked about this earlier. It's important to create a separate account. So again, if you have a lot of different varying things on your account, you want to make sure that you are being very niche specific. So segment out your account and really focus on building a laser targeted focus beauty account around whatever audience you're serving. Only follow and engage with other beauty accounts that are in your niche, okay? Now, this is very, 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 very important that you only engage with other beauty accounts that are in your niche. Why? Because Instagram is tracking your activities. Again, they're tracking what you're doing, and they're basing the activities that you do based on those activities that you're doing. They're figuring out where to categorize you. So if you want to be start showing up on the Explore page, if you want to start getting recommended as a person to follow, when other people follow accounts that are like yours, you need to be very, very disciplined in how you interact and behave on the app. And a good way to kind of tell whether or not you've been doing what you need to do as far as being categorized right is look at your Explore page right now. Take up your phone and look at your Explore page and look at what shows up. All right, look at what shows up on your Explore page. If you see that there's videos and pictures from the Shade Room, or there's pictures of Cardi B and her baby and just like pop culture stuff, and it's not really a beauty, then that's telling you that Instagram is not categorized you as a beauty account because of your behaviors within the app. So you need to work on cleaning up your Explore page so that you can so it can become clear to Instagram what it is that you do and how they should promote you and categorize you in the app. So again, that's another reason why you need to segment out your pages, because you might be using your account for beauty content, but you're also using it for regular leisure stuff. That's why they give you the ability to have several different accounts. You can switch between them. So segment it out and start only engaging and interacting with only beauty profiles or other profiles that are related to your niche on Instagram. Also, unfollow any accounts that are not related to your beauty niche, whatever niche it is. Unfollow them. So unfollow the Shade Room from your beauty account. Unfollow them. Unfollow Cardi B from your beauty account. Unfollow her, although she is funny. Unfollow her, right? You want to be as clear as possible, and you want to work on clearing up your Explore page. The end goal here is to get your account to only show beauty content. That is how you're going to know that, okay, I'm now getting into I'm in the right standing. Instagram now knows, okay, this is what I'm interested in. I'm a beauty account, so this is what I want you to show me as, okay? Another way to start clearing up your Explore page is to begin engaging more with other beauty accounts. So go to big beauty accounts, feature pages, and start engaging, commenting, liking. Do this for, I would say 20-30 minutes a day, and engaging with other beauty accounts. So Instagram can actually see, okay, I am interested, I'm engaging with other beauty accounts, and they're going to start tracking that activity and and it's going to start to help you clear up your Explore page. Also, as you begin to clear up your Explore page, and you start to notice more beauty accounts and stuff showing up on your Explore page, begin to engage with those accounts, those beauty accounts that show up on your Explore page. Go and like those posts, Go and comment on them. That's going to drive more traffic to your account and your profile. And excuse me, guys, it's going to send positive signals to Instagram about where to categorize you again. And like I said, spend about 30 minutes to an hour a day doing this so that you can work consistently every single day. Because I know you guys are on the Instagram app every day, because I am too. So do this every single day for 15, 30 minutes, however long you can, so that Instagram starts to recognize you, start to recalibrate in a sense what Instagram is categorizing you as, because the goal is for you to clear up your Explore page and also to begin showing up as on the Explore page, actually showing up on the Explore page, because everybody's Explore page, guys, if you didn't know, is different. Everybody doesn't see the same thing on their Explore page. So like a follower that engages with you a lot, they'll comment on your stuff a lot, their Explore page may show you, you may show up on their Explore page, and it's going to spill over to their following as well. So maybe they engage with you a lot, and you're going to show up on their Explore page, but it also will increase your likelihood of showing up to their followers Explore page. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, okay. So let's move on. Engage with your followers more. It's so important for you to engage with your followers more. A lot of people, we want to just get and don't want to give. You got to give, and you got to actually engage and post and comment and like and engage with your followers so that they can feel like, you know, you care, and they're going to reciprocate that behavior to you by commenting on your stuff, right? So you got to treat people essentially the way you want to be treated, okay? Open up your DMs, especially if you are a beauty freelancer. I see so many times where you guys say no DMs, but listen, Instagram is tracking that as engagement. That goes into your engagement amount. So if you can get somebody to DM you, that's going to boost you. That's going to make you show up in their stuff more, in their timeline more. So open up your DMs and allow people to talk to you. Even if they just have a question, open up your DMs about your service or whatever. Open up your DMs and start conversing with them. And replying to questions or anything that they see, because it's going to boost you in the algorithm. And Instagram sees that as positive behavior when you're conversing back and forth, which is going to help you to show up and higher in their timeline because of that interaction that you're doing. So open up your DMs, okay? Make it a point to respond to all of your comments. I see so many beauty influencers that don't respond to their comments. I don't understand why. I'm like, listen, respond to your comments, especially within the first 1 to 2 hours after you post. So this is very, very critical, because this is like the algorithm is the most effective when you like just post. So make sure that you're monitoring your posts that you just published within like the first hour or so. If any comments that you get, reply back to them, because that's going to boost you and push you out to more people. Because Instagram sees all of this chatter going on, all this commenting, all this engagement. They're going to say, hey, this is a really popular post. It's getting a lot of engagement. So let me push it out to more of her followers, because again, all of your followers aren't going to automatically see your stuff. So the more engagement you can get on your post and the more you can interact with them, the quicker, the sooner, like within the first 1 to 2 hours, the better it's going to be. And it's going to boost you. Okay. All right. So here's some promotion tips for your account. I mean, for your posts and your account. So for your post, you can start to drive more traffic to your posts when you start posting them in your grid. I know you see a lot of times when influencers post, hey, new post, right? You can do that as well. Post them on your story. Post your post on your story and tell people to go check out your post. That's going to get more engagement. A lot of people, for some reason, they are really interested in stories. And most people, some people, not most, but some people might not even know that you posted a new grid post, because you're not showing up in their timeline. But because you posted to your story and you're actually showing up across the top as a recent story, remember on the timeline, you see the little circles, you're posting you show it in your story, they're going to then see that and they're going to be driven to your post. Also, you can also comment on recent posts that are in your niche using the hashtags that you just used. So let's just say you have a hashtag, a cluster hashtag that you just posted. You want to increase the likelihood of you getting more exposure and engagement on that post by clicking through on those hashtags and going to where it says recent. On the hashtag, they have the top, then they have recent. Go to recent and start engaging and commenting on those posts that are in that same hashtag that you just used. And be like, hey, awesome picture. Those people, that's going to start building up engagement and curiosity, because people that actually seen posts come through. There's going to be other accounts that are probably very similar to you in size, and they're going to be curious and check out your stuff as well. They're going to click through and see your recent posts, and that's going to bring people back to your actual post and your content. Also, start participating in IG engagement pods. There are Facebook groups. I talked about it today on Facebook, on Instagram Live, where you can join the Facebook groups where they have actual pods where they are designed to get more engagement onto your stuff. So whenever you have a new post, you can post it inside of the group. And they're like, hey, I just have this. Can you go and check it out and comment on it? That is going to allow you to get more exposure and boost you in the algorithm as well. Now, for your profile overall, to start engaging with your to get more interaction with your profile overall, you want to cross promote. So you have other accounts that you use like Facebook and Twitter. You can cross promote your Instagram posts on your other accounts. You can also, when you do stuff like that, Instagram sees traffic when people are coming back to your profile through other social media accounts like Facebook and Instagram. They see that as high value, and they prioritize that content. They make note of that content and saying like, wow, this person must really have a great content, or she's posting a great post, because people are coming from other platforms to check out this post. So that's going to be kudos or extra points for you in the Instagram game. Again, do collaborations. I talked about this today. Trade shout outs for shout outs. Find other people, other micro influencers who have around the same amount of following as you have, and start doing shout outs with them. Trade shout outs and collaborate, or do dual live streams so that you can get an extra boost. Dual live streams are really good for not only engaging your existing audience, but getting people to engage with you and really build a relationship that quickly get them to pull in and follow you on your profile. You could also regram other people's posts that you're collaborating with, or you can do IG takeovers. So say, for example, you can say, I linked up with Triana, right? Let's say I linked up with my Triana, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a natural glam look. We're going to do an IG takeover. And then next week, you do an IG takeover for me on my live stream, and you're going to be doing like a really uber glam look, right? Those are different ways to collaborate. And then you can participate in loop giveaways. I explained this today. A loop giveaway is where you actually get a group of people together who are all in the same niche as you, and you actually have a group giveaway, and it's ran in a loop. So what that looks like is that everybody's posting the same image, the same caption, and the caption is going to give the people specific actions and what they need to do to enter the giveaway. So let's just say, for example, you started off, all right, so in order to enter the giveaway, you got to like this picture, make sure that you're following me, and then also tag 2 friends in the comments. And then make sure that you go to the second person in line, or go to all of the rest of the people. You want to tag the rest of the people in the caption and do the same thing on their post until you get back to me. So everybody that's a part of the loop that wants to be in a giveaway, they gotta like your picture, comment, tag 2 people, and make sure they're following you. And then they got to do the next person in line. They got to do the same actions on every single person that's part of the giveaway. That's called a loop giveaway. And they keep on going until they get back to where they started, which was you. This is a really, really great way to get a lot of people to check out your stuff, follow you, and increase your engagement on your content. All right. Let's see. Where did it go? Post your storage. More exposure. Okay. For your post, I said you need to post to your story again to drive the traffic to your post, and comment on recent posts that were within your niche. Well, why is that in there twice? Sorry, you guys. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. All right. So let's talk about some engagement strategies to increase your engagement. All right. So engagement is important to making sure that you actually get, that you actually are building a brand and building a profile that is worthwhile. Having a lot of numbers is not going to help you if you don't have engagement. So if you weren't aware, there's I rechecked, I did a live stream about this, and I said this it was 35 plus, but actually there's over 45 plus engagement actions that people can take on your content, and with the addition of IGTV. So you want to make sure that you are giving people every opportunity and showing them how they can engage with your stuff. So make sure that, number one, you want to make sure that you're creating content that is actually resonating with your audience. And one of the ways that you can do that is kind of survey them to see what it is that they want to engage with, or what kind of content they want you to create. And when you're actually creating content that actually they want to see, engagement is going to naturally happen. It's going to naturally be a part of the process. And then also, like I said, you can survey to kind of get a feel of what they want to see. Also, in your captions, make sure that you're including call to action. CTA is the acronym for call to actions, and actually telling them to engage. So ask a question so that they'll be prompted to answer the question. Ask their opinion about something as it relates to the post that you just made. Ask them to share their input about something. Ask them to save your post. Make sure that you're creating content that is save worthy. So when people take that action to save your content, Instagram sees that as a very, very high value action when people are actually saving it. So they're going to add more weight to that engagement action, whereas if somebody was just to like it. That's a really, really weighted engagement. Saving and also sharing your post as well is a really, really weighted engagement. When somebody actually takes the initiative to share your post with their friends as a DM, that's a big thing as well. So tell them what you want them to do so that you can incite and provoke and prompt that engagement. And again, you're going to engage with your followers because, like I said, people reciprocate. Engage with your followers. Clean out your bot followers. This is a big one. A lot of people, they have a lot of followers, but a lot of them are bot followers. And this is not going to be good for you, especially if you are a micro influencer. You want to keep your follower count as pure as possible, and so you can keep your engagement as good as possible. If you have a lot of bot followers, it's going to really hurt your engagement rate. So you want to clean those out. The way that you can do this is using one of two options. If you have an iPhone, there's an app that you can use called Cleaner app. Cleaner app is going to allow you to it's going to remove your bot followers for you. So it's going to find the bot followers and remove them for you. And there's also an app that you can use for Android. It's called the Followers Chief Automation app. Again, that's the Followers Chief Automation app. And you can use this app to find your ghost followers, see the followers that aren't following you, and clean them out. Okay. It's very important that you're careful when you use these apps because you don't want to be too aggressive with these apps because they can sometimes flag your account. So use them on the lowest setting possible. And be very cautious when you're using them. If you don't want to use them, you always have the option of doing it manually, but it's going to take you a lot longer. Okay. Like I had an incident a little while ago where I had 300 bots and spam people follow me overnight, and it was crazy. And I went through the process of manually doing it initially, but then I found the cleaner app and it did it for me. So you can use the cleaner app or you can do it manually, but you have to do one by one. But either way, you want to make sure that you're cleaning out your bot and your ghost followers. All right, and tracking your stats and your analytics. So it's important to make sure that you know your stats and know your numbers, because getting the detailed stats and analytics is going to kind of show you what your audience is interested in and what kind of content they like and what content they're not really into. And it's going to allow you to discover what the best times are to post based on your actual account. Right? Because everybody's following is different. Everybody's online at different times. So if you can see when is my audience is the most active, then you're going to know when you should post your stuff. So there's a few places you can get your stats and your analytics from. If you have an IG biz account, which you should, you can see a lot of that there. Or you could also use some apps. The Command app for iPhone will show you, it gives you a lot of great data about like the performances of your post. It grades it kind of like gives you a rating and a grade for your post and for your profile overall. It also shows you the best times to post based on your particular audience. Like it's really a great, a wealth of information inside of the Command app. But I think it is a paid, there's like a free version, I believe, or a trial version, but it is a paid app. I think it's about $9 a month that you can use that for. And then Iconosquare, if you don't have an iPhone, you can use Iconosquare. Iconosquare is the actual website. I think they might have an app as well. I don't think so. But they might have like where you can use it from your phone on a mobile device. But that is also going to be another good thing for you to use to track your stats, because it tells you the same information about like when's the best time to post based on your audience and all the other information. All right, so now we're going into the home front, ladies. Now we're going to talk about proper infrastructure. This is how you get to the money. We're getting straight to the money. Okay. All right, so this is how you get to the money. All right. So there's 3 things that you need to have in place. First, you need to have a proper infrastructure in place. You need to have the proper infrastructure in place in order to make money. Okay, ladies. So let's go through these things one by one. So number 1, you need a website. You need a website, or you need a blog website. You need something that you own, the blog website that is personally branded to you, okay? It needs to be personally branded to you. And the reason why is because you don't own Instagram and you don't own any of your social media. Yes, it's great to be able to build a following and gain exposure to what it is you're doing, your brand. But in the long run, ultimately, you don't own Instagram. Instagram is supposed to be used as a marketing tool and a marketing medium as a part of your business strategy. Okay, remember we talked about that mindset of a marketer. You are a business owner, and using Instagram and creating content on Instagram is a part of your business strategy. And you need your own infrastructure in which you can be able to monetize what you are building on Instagram. Now, your website serves as your branded hub. It serves as your branded platform. I call it a PMP, personal media platform. PMP, personal media platform, or your branded hub, where you can put all of your custom and branded content. Okay, all of your custom and branded content. And it's also the place where people are actually going to be able to give you coins. That's where people are going to be able to give you coins, whether you are a content creator or whether you are a beauty freelancer or whether you are a retailer. Having your own website is where people can actually transactionally interact with you and give you money. So it is very important that you have that. And it's also important because, again, like I said, you don't own Instagram and all that. So you still need to have a place where you can be able to keep yourself going if something were to happen. Which brings me into the next point. Well, before I go to the next point, the platform that I recommend is WordPress. WordPress is a platform that I recommend. It is the industry standard. There's a lot of different reasons why I choose for WordPress. I'm not going to go into all of the details, but that's just what I recommend, and that's what I use. I use the self-hosted version of it where I actually pay for my own hosting. But there is a free version of WordPress that you can use at WordPress.com. That's the free version. WordPress.org is the paid version where you actually pay for your hosting. Either way, whatever one you're using, whether you're using self-hosted or paid or free, you need to. I recommend WordPress. Number 2 is you need to have an email subscription form on your website. So if you have a blog or if you have a website, you need to be collecting emails. Okay. Now, this is important because you need to build a super fan base. And I talked about this a little while ago on one of my live streams. I talked about where it's important to have a super fan base. This is very, very necessary for you to be able to truly build a sustainable business that is going to be around for the long haul, that you can monetize even without your Instagram account. Okay, because this having an email list of subscribers, this is going to be your super fans. This is how you identify your ride or die people or people that just want to follow you for your pictures and stuff, right? You're having a super fan list of email subscribers. This is going to be your first point of contact whenever you have any new services to offer, any new products to offer, or also if you have new content. Because like I said, the algorithm, there's different ways that you can work with the algorithm, which I just talked about, ways that you can work with the algorithm and improve your ranking in the algorithm. But also, you know, it's going to be always constantly changing. Sometimes you might reach more people, sometimes you might reach less people. So you need a email list in which you can send out your content to as well, so that you can kind of combat what's going on with the algorithm. And if you send out these emails, you're like, hey, I just put a new post on my Instagram, go and check it out, or go answer the question that's in the comments, or, you know, come and engage with me. That kind of helps you combat it, just in case, you know, you get your reach is being hindered. And it's also really important for you, having a list is very important for you to be able to monetize as well in the long run, even as a beauty content creator. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit. The actual tools that I use, or the platforms that I recommend that you start off with, is MailerLite, or MailChimp. Now, I don't really like MailChimp. I'm not a fan of MailChimp. I actually, I recommend them because they're free, and I also recommend them because they're free up to like 2,000 subscribers. But I would actually recommend that you use MailerLite over MailChimp, because MailChimp has some different stipulations, that it's just a lot of, I mean, as you grow and as you really start to build out your brand and really do some really business things with your list, it can be some hindrances with MailChimp. So I would actually recommend that you use MailerLite. MailerLite is also free to start. I think it's free up to like your first 1,000 subscribers or something like that. So you got plenty of room to go ahead and start and build from there. And there's others options as well. Maybe you already have one that you use, and that's fine, as long as you have some ways to collect some emails, right? Okay. Number 3 is your monetization methods. That's the third thing that you need to be able to make money from Instagram. So there are several different ways to be able to monetize Instagram. There's your services, if you're actually a freelancer or you're actually a professional, you know, you offer beauty professional services. If you're in affiliate marketing or an affiliate program, that's a way to be able to generate income. If you actually have physical products, that's a way to be able to generate income. Digital classes or digital products, like if you're doing, you know, online makeup classes or something like that, that is another way to generate income. If you're doing seminars and webinars, like actual physical webinars in person, seminars in person, or you're doing webinars, like again, web classes, that's another way. Or sponsorships and partnerships, that's another way to generate income. Now, the more traditional way, especially in the beauty influencer space, is do sponsorships and partnerships. But I'm here to tell you right now, ma'am and ladies, you do not have to have sponsorships and partnerships in order to be able to monetize your passion for beauty or monetize your beauty account. There is so so many other ways that you can do that, and I'm going to kind of go over that a little bit. So these are just the different ways that you do that. There's 3 different types of income types, different types of income that you need. There's 3 types of income that every beauty biz owner needs, whether you're an influencer, a freelancer, whatever you are in the beauty space. You need to have 3 different types of income. The first type is active income. Active income is just what it sounds like. If you have a job, you got some active income. If you are a freelancer, that's an active income. If you're actually rendering a service in exchange for money, that's an active income. Also, another form of active income is your actual beauty consultant, meaning that you actually take on private clients and you teach them about beauty and you teach them about makeup application in a one-to-one capacity. That's also another type of active income. Second category is leveraged income. Leveraged income is when you're doing it on a one-to-many type of platform. So for example, if you're doing seminars or like makeup classes where they're like actual seminars, that's a leveraged income. Or if you're actually doing webinars like this, what we're doing here, that's the type of leveraged income where you are teaching something to somebody in a matter where you're selling, like, you know, tickets, or you're selling spots and you're teaching. Passive income, that's the last thing, passive income. And this is my favorite type of income, and you need it. Everybody needs passive income. You can generate passive income through a physical product. Maybe you have physical products that you sell. You can generate passive income through digital products. Maybe you have a digital product that you want to create. You can also generate passive income through subscription or membership program. Now, this is something that I talk about inside of another course that I do. But yeah, you can generate passive income in a subscription model where it's a recurring business, a recurring income that people pay month after month. This is how you generate Sleep Coin. Sleep Coin is the best type of coin. I love waking up to notifications on PayPal or Stripe where I have somebody just bought something that I have available on my website and I didn't even have to be physically involved with the process. Again, Sleep Coin is the best coin, and you all need a digital product or some type of recurring income so that you can really earn true passive income as a business owner, because social media, ladies, is very, very global. You have people following you from all over the world, internationally. So you need to be able to have a medium or a way in which your global followers, people that may not be local to you if you're a freelancer, or people that may not be local to your store if you actually have a physical brick and mortar business, you need a way for people to be able to do commerce with you, give you money in a global capacity that is not directly tied to you, or that requires very minimal maintenance. Okay, so that is what you need. Those are the 3 different types of income. And that is really the importance of truly being able to have a global brand that you can generate all of these type of incomes in whatever capacity. Because let's just say, for example, if you're a freelancer, if you're an MUA, and maybe you there's like a snowstorm, or there's thunder and lightning, or whatever, something happens where you can't see your clients, or your clients are not coming in. And if you can't service your clients right now, if that's the only source of income you got, then your money is stopped. You don't have any money coming in. But if you have this different type of income strategies, if you have leverage income where you're actually doing online webinars, makeup classes, or if you actually have a product, a digital product where you're actually selling and you're able to deliver it digitally, that's okay. You can promote that on Instagram. And even if you weren't able to get, you know, the clients that you were meant to see that day, you can go and put you a post on Instagram and generate some of that money back that you're missing out on, right? So it's so important to have this for whatever you are in whatever business, type of business, beauty business you have, wherever you are in your journey. So a general rule of thumb, ladies, a general rule of thumb when it comes to these different type of monetization methods. If you are a true beauty enthusiast, like you are a true beauty content creator, and you do not have and you do not have any physical products that you offer, or you do not have any services that you render, then affiliate marketing is going to be a great, great option for you to be able to generate income, even as a smaller beauty influencer, because you'll be able to partner with other companies and be able to still promote their services and be able to get paid a commission off of whatever you sell. So you will be able to still be able to generate income from your content and monetize your content by putting, doing product reviews and putting them on your blog website and sending people that follow you on Instagram over to your blog to read the review and then recommending that they purchase the product. So that's going to be a good option for you. Now, if you are a teacher, maybe if you're an actual freelancer, maybe you've been doing beauty freelancing or MUA or being a stylist, a professional stylist, and you actually have a skill set that you have been honing and actually generating income from, then creating a digital product is going to be a good option for you, because you actually have a skill set, about, you're expert in it, and you can absolutely teach it. Do not even let the thought of thinking, oh, I can't teach this. If you are good enough to be able to render a service and people are paying you for doing their makeup or doing their hair, then you're great enough to be able to teach other people how to do it in some capacity. So creating a digital product is going to be a very great option for you to be able to generate another source of income that is also passive income. Okay. If you are already a beauty retailer, if you actually have physical products, right? Or if you're a part of a beauty MLM, then you're good. You already have a source of wage a way in which you can be able to make money. Now, you can also create these, you can also work these and put them all together and use them like interchangeably based on like the specific situation that you're in or whatever content strategies that you're coming up with. So these can all be used together. But this is kind of like the general rule of thumb based on kind of like where you are in your process. Okay. So your posting strategy, this is very, very important. Like this is important. Write this down. Okay. Your posting strategy and most of your content, if not all of your content, needs to be directly tied to one of your monetization strategies, one of your monetization methods. It needs to be directly tied to it. You should always, always, always be posting with a purpose. And you need to know the end goal or the end action that you want your followers to take. So your posting and your content strategy should always follow what I call a monetized path. Okay. A monetized path. Your content, your posting, everything that you're doing on Instagram should always follow a monetized path that is leading your followers to eventually becoming a paying customer of yours, whether they're buying an affiliate product that you recommended, or whether they're buying an actual physical product of yours, or booking you for your service, or actually buying your actual physical products. All of your content needs to be following a monetized path that's going to lead them into becoming a customer and giving you coins. Okay. Now, this is how you make money on Instagram. This is how you really make money on Instagram without the needing to be able to be a bigger influencer or needing to have the partnerships. All of these pieces that I'm talking about, making sure you know your niche, making sure you know your message, making sure you know who you serve and know what your skill set is and how you can serve people, making sure you understand how you can teach people and what you're good at and what you're good at teaching. That is all plays a very big part in being able to make money from Instagram, even as a micro beauty influencer, including with your engagement. If you are making sure that you're creating the right content that's serving your audience, that is actually what they want to see, that's going to increase your engagement, which is going to push you out into the algorithm and bring more people back to you that loves what you do, that's going to follow you, and that's going to eventually engage with you and interact with you enough to the point where they want to pay you money for something that you are recommending or something that you're offering. All right. I really want you guys to really understand this and get this. You do not, I mean, eventually you're going to continue to grow. Of course, you're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to get bigger, better, have more influence and have more impact, and, you know, have a bigger footprint on Instagram. But you don't need to have tons and thousands of followings in order to really be able to make money and serve your audience that you already have, right? You have those people that are going, they already love you. They already love what you're doing. They love your content. They're asking you questions. You can provide solutions to them in a digital manner, maybe create a digital product that allows them to really be able to have a more immersive experience with you, where you're teaching them something more specific and in detail, and that you can absolutely charge for it. You can charge for it and still be able to make money all along the way. Okay. So I want to, before I get into the questions really quick, we're going to take some time for questions, but before I get into the questions, I want to talk about a new program that I'm starting, and it's in the beta testing stage. Beauty Corn Academy. Now, Beauty Corn Academy is a 8-week program where I am actually going to walk you through step by step through the process of how to make sure that you got every step of this process together, and to get you set up to the point where you're actually going to be able to earn your first $1,000 per month consistently through using Instagram. Now, if you already are earning money from Instagram, but it's not consistent, I'm going to make sure make sure that you have the right infrastructure and the right processes set up so that you can increase your income, or at least start making income from Instagram. So here's a bit of what is going to be included in the actual academy. So I'm going to show you how to properly build, format, and launch your blog or your website, so that you can revamp your existing website. So if you already have a blog website, or you already have a website, I'm going to walk you through how to revamp it, how to make sure that it is better branded, how to make sure that it is laid out better, so that you're actually getting more people to interact and engage with what you're offering, the content that you're creating on your blog. Or if you already offer products and services, to make sure that you're positioning them properly in order to be able to get more people to purchase. I'm also going to show you how to properly plan out and map out your content, or map out your 3 income streams. So I'm going to show you, remember I talked about these 3 income streams. You need your active income, you need leverage income, and you need passive income. So I'm going to show you how to properly map out each one of these income streams, and how to create them and make sure they're set up on the right platforms, so that your followers will actually purchase what it is that you're going to be offering, actually purchase those services, purchase those different products that you're going to be offering, as well as how to incorporate the ones that you're mentioning. So maybe you've identified in these different platforms, maybe you've identified, okay, I got active income, or maybe I already have I'm gonna have a product. I got a product, but I'm missing leverage income, or I'm missing active income, like I'm missing something. I'm going to show you how to incorporate that, so that you can make sure that you have all of those as a part of your income portfolio, so that you have a well-rounded business, and position you to be able to make the most money possible from your Instagram presence. I'm also going to show you how to create an effective content marketing strategy, so that you can promote your products on Instagram, so that you can actually properly market them and actually get your followers to purchase. There is a process to the madness of being able to generate income from Instagram in this matter. There's a specific process and a strategy that you need to follow, so that everything is concise and is going in the right order, and it includes the right components. And I'm going to help you map out that process, so that your content marketing is effective and actually will work to convert your followers into actually customers and purchasing your stuff. I'm also going to show you how to effectively use Instagram to generate income easily, Instagram Live to generate income easily and effortlessly. This is one of the most underutilized. I don't understand. Let me just say right here, this is one of the most underutilized platforms to be able to generate money on Instagram. Instagram Live, guys, is a gold mine. Hear me when I tell you, Instagram Live, especially in the beauty space. Listen, especially in the beauty space, when you're doing live tutorials, You could be making total bank. And I'm going to show you how to do that, leveraging Instagram Live, and do it very, very easily, very effortlessly, and it's not going to take a lot of your work. And I'm showing you how to strategize it and how to map it all out, and also how to use Instagram Live to increase your engagement and increase your reach, which is very effective for that as well. You're also going to get access to a VIP Facebook group for the actual course. Everybody that enrolls in the course is going to be able to access to the Facebook group where I'm going to be there to support you, answer your questions. We're also going to have weekly group coaching sessions where I'm actually going to, we're going to meet every single week. And I'm going to actually help you through the different stages in which you're going through, and making sure that you are getting answers to your questions, and everything is being mapped out properly, and that you have everything set up properly to be the most effective as it can be. And then as a special bonus, everybody who signs up for Beauty Corn Academy is going to get a 30-minute video coaching session with me, which I'm going to actually walk you through an actual a customized audit. I'm going to do an actual customized audit for your Instagram. A lot of you ladies have actually been asking me for this in my inbox, and I just told you, I've been telling you, just go ahead and register, because you're going to have that opportunity. Now, I actually sell my Instagram audits. I offer it as a service. And I actually sell them for $260. You can go right now to my website and go to the Work With Me tab, and you're going to see that for $260, you'll be able to get an Instagram audit with me. But as a bonus, for signing up for Beauty Corn Academy, you're going to get a free 30-minute, as a bonus, 30-minute Instagram audit, where I'm actually going to look at your specific content and give you suggestions and on how you can improve your content for what it is that you're doing, as we are prepping to go ahead and go into getting the work inside of Beauty Corn Academy. Now, I would love for you to be a beta tester, because like I said, this is a new program, and my goal and my heart is really to be able to help those of you who really truly want to be able to generate income using Instagram from your beauty content and build a business that which you're truly fulfilled, and is that you're actually starting to give you some breathing room, and give you the option to be able to leave your 9-to-5 if you want to, right? And just be able to make money that is consistent from your passion. So I would love for you to be a beta tester and be a founding member. This is an introductory price. It's very, very steeply discounted because, like I said, it's a new program, and you're going to be a beta tester. So you can just you can get started today for just $47 a month for 3 months. So it's just $47 a month for 3 months, and we're actually going to be kicking it off on October the 8th. On October the 8th is when we're going to have our first web class, and we're actually going to start doing the work. So if you are interested in joining the Beauty Corn Academy as a beta tester, make sure that you go ahead and go to those link that's right here. It says beautycornacademy.com, and you can sign up with PayPal. The spots are limited. And I'm not going to be keeping this open very long, because I want to make sure that my group that I'm doing this with, I'm able to really focus on you ladies and pour everything into you to make sure that you're getting the attention and the help that you need. So the spots are limited. I'm not going to make this a big group. It's going to be very, very intimate. It's going to be essentially like having me as your personal coach and walking you through this entire process. So again, you can go to beautycornacademy.com to sign up. All right, so I do want to make sure there's time for questions. So let me get out of my presentation here. Hold on. And make sure that everybody's still here. Hold on. Are you ladies still here? Uh-oh. Oh, let me put the camera back on me. Let me stop sharing my screen. Hey, how you doing? So if anybody has any questions, let me unmute you. I will answer your questions now. It won't let me unmute, and I don't know why. It's so weird. Hold on. Yeah, I see a question in the comments. Yes, everybody's going to be able to get access to this presentation and also the recording, of this webinar, of this workshop. Ashley, can you hear me? I don't hear nobody. Hold on. Are you still muted? Oh, there you go. Can you hear me? Or are you talking? And I see Afrigal. Okay. All right. I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear any voice. I don't hear any sound. But if you have any questions, you can always put them in the comments below. If you go to the actual page, you can put them below and I'll be able to see your comment if you do. Hold on, let me check real quick. Let me refresh this page. And also too, ladies, you'll be able to ask any questions that you have inside of the Facebook group. A lot of you guys join the Facebook group for the workshop. So you'll be able to ask any questions that you have about the content that I covered after the fact inside of that group. So that's like a little community for those of you who registered for this as well. So you'll be able to have me available for any questions that you have after the fact. Awesome. Can you check out my bio and see if it's like you said? Okay. What is your handle? Oh, okay, the home manicures. Let me see. Where did it go? Yeah. Come back. Okay. Let me share my screen again. So, all right. Listen to one. All right. So Ashley, Fun with Color, the home manicurist and nail boss, independent color street stylist. Okay, 100% nail, no dress up. Okay, so are you in the MLM, Ashley? Let me see. I can't see your face. Are you in the MLM? Yes. Okay. So it looks like your MLM has to do with nails. So I like that. I like your handle, the home manicurist. That must be your branding. And then your name, Fun with Color. So I would say that you need to speak to the benefit of why somebody would follow you. What can they find on your actual on your account? So it's like, I help you, think about what are the problems that people have. It looks like nail strips. Nail strips is that like quick dry nail polish or something like that? I think I've heard of that before. Okay. So what is one of the problems or the problems that people have when it comes to getting their nails done? They hate, the dry time or whatever struggle that they might go through. You got to be thinking about speaking to the problem. So in your bio, I would say something. I would compose a sentence that tells people specifically how what you do will be able to help them. So you can say, I help nail enthusiasts, or I help nail enthusiasts create beautiful manicures that dries in however many seconds, or something like that. So I would just say, think about specifically a sentence that specifically encompasses how you're able to help people and what benefit they would have of following you. And speaking and the way that you would kind of like craft that out is thinking about listing out some of the problems that people have when it comes to doing their nails. Put it in one concise sentence. So I help nail enthusiasts create beautiful nail designs in 5 minutes flat, or something like that. So, and then you can have, okay, you got your call to action, which is good. And then you have your website. This is your Wix website. Okay, good. So I think I've seen your page before. Yeah, you have a very nice page. Your page is very well laid out. The aesthetic of it is beautiful. I would just say, now, I mean, I can't do like a really in-depth deep dive on your actual process, but I will say that when you're creating content, you want to create content that speaks to all of the different pain points that people struggle with when it comes to doing manicures, and how you have the solution for what they're struggling with. And you kind of want to tell your story in the midst of it as well. So you can talk about, oh, I used to do my nails, and I got tired of, I hated waiting around for it to dry. I used to always get smudges, and I used to go out thinking that my nails were dry, and I went to the store, and the next time you know, I looked down at my nails and it's smudged, or something. Like telling candid stories about different experiences that you've had with manicures, and kind of incorporating your life and some of that into it, and speaking to the problems of how you can solve it, is going to make your content more engageable, and it's going to help people be more relate more to what it is that you do, and really see how you can help them. Let's see, are you still there? Okay, cool, awesome. So you're welcome. If we don't have any more questions, it looks like there were a few people in here, but they had to go. So like I said, those of you who are watching a replay, let me come back to my screen. Uh-oh, where did it go? Okay, so those of you who are watching the replay, if you have any questions at all about anything that I covered, you can always reach out to me through the Facebook group or in the DM. And then also, too, ladies, you are all going to get access to my slide deck, because I know that I went through a lot of content, and it was probably a bit quicker than what I wanted it to be, but I had a lot of content to get through. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to cover everything. So you're going to get access to the slide deck. I'm going to send it to you all as a PDF download through the email. So make sure that you're watching your email for that. And then if you have any questions as far as this is concerned, you can reach out to me. And the replay is going to be in the email as well. And I'm going to send that out tonight, within the next hour or so. So you ladies can already have it available. You are all in the Facebook group. So if you have any questions about anything that I covered, if you're watching the replay, ask them in the Facebook group, because other people might have the same questions, and I want to make sure that I'm serving everybody in as efficient a capacity as possible. And I thank everybody for tuning in. So I will let everybody go. And if you want to go ahead and get your access to the Beauty Corn Academy, you can go to beautycornacademy.com. Again, that's beautycornacademy.com. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. Bye.